Hey guys, what is up? It is Pieces of Prestige and welcome back to episode 6 of building Parc Miranda. And today in Planet Coaster we are going to be building the first train station of this park. And I'm very excited for this. Now, I'm finally kind of done with the entrance area and getting to work on the rest of the park. And that has me like totally excited. I couldn't wait for this episode. So yeah, here it is. Now basically just extending the boulevard here, and what we're gonna do with this station right here is we're gonna elevate it a little bit. As you can see, we built this hill right here. It's gonna be elevated over the boulevard path. Well, basically the elevation is gonna be higher than the elevation of the boulevard path. And what that is going to allow us to do is make branches, like make the path, the boulevard path, branch off into different parts of the park, and then go underneath the tracks, like underneath a nice steel bridge or a wooden bridge or something like that, you know, that is kind of coherent with the actual theme of that area, and that lets you enter the area. And you know, I'm really excited for that. And kind of, you know, what you need to visualize for this is the way I want to build up the park. Now, you already know about the center lake, and you know what this is basically what this is gonna do is the boulevard path is gonna go halfway around this lake, and at the back side of the park it's going to kind of turn right and branch off into the park instead of going all the way around the lake. And the trains, the train tracks are actually going to go all the way around the lake, so that way like the main path will also go underneath the actual train tracks. And I just can't wait to build those bridges. I have some really cool ideas for it, but you know, that's all gonna come in later episodes. Now, right here, we are just kind of building this entrance queue area, and I kind of wanted to make it, you know, wheelchair friendly, so I tried to make this as smooth as possible, you know, make it like not that steep of an incline, even though I think like the last part, like the last incline area thing of that path, that entrance queue, is kind of a little bit too steep. But, you know, we'll find out if that works. I mean, there are no wheelchairs in Planet Coaster, so I guess we're all fine with that. You know, it's gonna be all okay, and no need to worry. But it's just a little bit of a realism thing that I kind of wanted to put that in there. And yeah, I must say, like, the scale of this is pretty big. Actually, when I look at the entrance area and then at this area that I used for the train station, like, the entrance area isn't even that big. There's just a lot of stuff in it. And right here, you know, it kind of leaves this area kind of empty, and I'm not really happy with that. So if you have any suggestions on what to put in here, like to fill it up, right now I just put some foliage and some rock work in there. You know, that might be fine, but let me know what you guys think about it. Maybe you guys can come up with some awesome idea to put something in it, and we can do that. So yeah, go ahead and post it in the comments, you know, what you think about, you know, like an empty area with this train station right here. But, you know, just I would suggest just watch the video before you do that, because you'll see that, you know, it's going to be filled up with foliage and stuff, and it might change your mind. So yeah, that's basically that. And you know, the reason that I asked that is I kind of want to design this park together, like with you guys, and with you guys' input, you know, we can make this park look as awesome as we want. And I kind of, you know, I still want it to be kind of like PortAventura, you know, to still have that kind of feel. But I just want it to be the best it could be, and I think with your guys' help, that is so gonna work out, and you know, we're gonna be able to do that right there. Now, one little mistake that I did actually is before I built this station building, I actually put in the entrance right there, and I put it in like right halfway across the grid, and it just kind of went right through one of those footers, so we had to fix it up a little bit. But yeah, you know, with your guys' input, we can make this park the best it could be, so go ahead and let me know what you think. Anyhow, right here we're gonna start on, you know, building the train station itself, and I'm really excited for this part of the video. Now, basically what this is gonna be is kind of a simple roof truss, basically, that I just build up of little items right here, the wooden beams, and you know, I think it worked out pretty nicely. Now, what you'll see in a second is that I actually used 2 angles for the roof, because I didn't want it to be a very simple, like, straight roof, you know, going straight down, and it'd just be like, well, not straight down, but you know what I'm saying, like in one single angle, and it just wouldn't look that detailed. And right here, you know, I'm really happy with this little kink that I made right there, and I'm just going to pair that up with a little diagonal in a second, and it's gonna look better. And right here, just adding some roof stringers, I suppose, and those girders are gonna hold up the roof, of course. And I mean, you know, when you just layer in your buildings like this, so basically you first make the main structure. Here you can see the diagonals being put in place, but first you make like the main structure, and then you make like a structure on top of that, and then you build the roof over it. You know, you really see that detail come to life when you're actually on the platform of the train station, and you can see like the roof. You look at the roof, and instead of just seeing the bottom of the normal roof pieces, you actually see like the trusses, and then you see, you know, the little girders that go across them, and then you can see like the little trusses on the bottom of the like the roof pieces, and then you see the roof pieces themselves. I don't know, I just totally geek out on that, and I just, you know, I can't stop, you know, putting those details in. And I hope that I'll be able to upload some of the buildings that I built in here actually to the Steam Workshop, so you guys can download them and put them in your own park. And of course, with the new limit, I guess it is the 4K limit right now. Well, that is coming. Frontier announced that, and it's just gonna be awesome. We're gonna be able to upload many things, and maybe even like entire parts of the entrance area. I'm not that sure yet, but you know, we'll see about that. You know, if we decide to do that. So yeah, just making like these little box truck here on the beginning of the train station. It looked really cool, and then I tried it on the front of the train station right here, and it just kind of didn't work out. You know, it was kind of just encapsulating the control box and the woman standing behind it, and it just looked really weird. And so I decided to cut that and just keep them on the front, or actually on the back side, and we're gonna fill those up with plants, so it's gonna be like a nice little planter, I suppose, on both sides of the track. And right here, what you can see me do is actually copy the lighting inside of these roof pieces. And the way I like to do that, right, is these like scenery pieces, you can like, you know, just copy them with advanced move. So that's basically the same as placing one of them and just hitting the X key on your keyboard, and it will bring up like these axes that you can move the piece along, and you get this really advanced tool to move your pieces exactly in the orientation that you want. And instead of that, what I like to do is just, you know, build on the grid, and then when it's on the grid, I like to, you know, pick my scenery items that I want to copy, and then pick one item that is like aligned to the grid, that's locked to the grid. And if you do that, you can actually copy all those parts, and they will all snap to the grid, and then later you just remove the dummy piece, and yeah, you're all set. You know, the lights are exactly in the right place, they are snapped exactly to the beam, and it just creates for a very nice way to create scenery, or like to copy scenery, because otherwise you'll get these like floating lamps that are just like a couple of centimeters from the actual beam, and then when you record a video with it, you know, like you zoom past it with a camera or something, you pan past it, you'll actually see that you kind of freaked up right there and that it's floating. But you know, that's all going to be fixed when you apply this method. Now right here, I just wanted to make some really simple little lights, and these light fixtures, I kind of wanted to make a footer for them, but I couldn't really find a piece to do that with, so I decided, you know, let's just keep it like this and stick it into the ground. And basically what it is one of those rails, and basically those are actually like train track wheels, and I suppose that when you have them laying around, you could just use them to build some simple lights. I suppose you could just ram them into the ground and put some light fixtures on there, and it looks pretty cool. And I really like the way that it looks right now. But like the one thing that I don't like is that it produces this really yellow light. And I hope in the future that we'll be able to like edit the light, like the kind of like, you know, the light color that it emits of every single light object there is. Now of course with this object it's a little difficult, but if you just make the fixture itself kind of recolorable, then I think it should be possible. But yeah, maybe in the future they'll do that, but maybe not, and we'll just have to stick with it like this and just keep the lights yellow, and maybe do some post-production stuff to make it, you know, less warm and maybe more realistic, but we'll see how that goes. Right here, this little restaurant right there, you know, it's kind of made to fill up the space, because like what I said, like in the beginning of this video, like the space right here, it's pretty big, but it's all open, so I wanted to put something in there, and this, you know, this building right here helped out a lot. I actually added a little tower right there to the side, if I'm correct, in the end, and I think, you know, just kind of filling up the space with buildings is a good idea, but I just don't want to overdo it. You know, I still want to keep it kind of alive and like normal scenery and path and foliage and stuff, and not only the facades, because you know, I can get bored pretty quickly if I just see only facades in an entire park. And of course, you know, if you look at real theme parks, you'll see a lot of them. So I just, you know, I hope that I can keep it, you know, to a certain extent that it's still realistic and still looks very good and still feels like an actual theme park, but, you know, have it not overdone, because that's just what I'm really afraid of. And right here, just filling up this space, as you can see, like the train tracks is actually floating, so I had to cover that up. And what I'm going to do back here, of course, is some more backstage work. And this is basically going to mean that the path, right, you can see right there, like the road, is going to lead up right there to the back of this restaurant. Because, of course, restaurants need to be stocked, and what better way is there to do that than with a little bus or a little truck. So, you know, you need a road, an access road, to get it there, because you can't always, like, drive straight through the park or something like that. Leave tire marks everywhere. So, you know, I'm trying to keep this a little bit, especially when there's guests in the park, of course, you cannot go through there with a truck. So, you know, I just try to keep it really realistic in that sense, and make sure that there are, you know, a lot of back roads and a lot of back detail, because, as I said in the previous episode, in the final video of this park, of course, we're gonna incorporate all the backstage stuff into a very cool montage, I suppose. Like starting up the park in the morning. That's kind of like the fantasy I have right now, right? So the video starts and it's like 4 a.m. in the morning, and then, you know, I animate some stuff so that you can see like a truck driving through there and stuff, and then at a certain moment the park opens, the guests roll in, and you see all the coasters and you ride all the coasters. It's just going to be an epic video. I can't wait to do that. But of course, before that, we have to actually finish the park. Right here, you know, filling up the space with the fountain right there. I tried to place a bench just right on the terrain, and it's only snappable, of course, to the path, because it's a path extra. It's not a scenery piece. So, you know, you can make your own. But I just decided to just, you know, put them along the path right there. And I think that's fine. Now, right here, you know, still the entire area looks pretty empty, and just adding some scenery pieces here and there helps, I suppose. Like right there, that skull was totally useless, but it was a nice little touch to that area right there. But, you know, to fill it up a little bit, I put these planters here, and in the end, I ended up putting some trees in there and a lot of yellow flowers. I'm just not so sure how that looks. So as I said in the beginning of the video, go ahead and comment down below, you know, saying like, this would be better or that would be better. If you have any suggestions, you know, let me know, because I would love to hear you guys' input and just incorporate that in the park, because that will make the park so much better than with just my own input, because, well, you know me, well, or you don't, but I'm not the best when it comes to park design. So yeah, I need you guys' help. Now right here, just adding some more foliage, and that is basically going to be it for this video. And yeah, I just, you know, for real, I want to thank you guys for watching and sticking with me through these episodes, basically. Right here, just filling up these planters, but that's going to be kind of the last thing we do this episode. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and like the video, of course. And if you're subscribed, actually, what you want to do is you want to click the little bell icon in the to the right of the subscribe button, so that you can actually see my videos on your homepage, because elsewise YouTube won't let you see the videos, I suppose, and you'll just have to look them up yourself. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. So until then, peace from Pieces of Prestige.